All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Ebony again, a.k.a. Fit Mom Diva of Simplicity Health Style, and today we have Miss Spencer with us. How are you, Spencer?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing awesome today. Thank you for taking time out of your day and sharing some jewels with us. You guys, if you stick around to the end, you'll have an opportunity to earn a complimentary gift as a form of appreciation for sticking around and seeing what Miss Spencer wants to share with us today. So stick around. Let's see what she wants to share that's all positive with us. Spencer, can you just start us off by sharing a motivational quote, something that really inspires you and encourages you?
So I have a new motivational quote that I've been using lately, and it is work hard in silence and let your success be the noise.
Yes, that is awesome. And a lot of times, when we talk too much about our dreams, we're just all talk and it derails us from action.
Yeah, all the time.
So I totally I identify with certain times where I'm like dreaming and thinking and sharing my thoughts with people, and then I look back and I'm like, but what did I really do?
Yeah, what did I gain out of that?
Yeah, so taking action is what's always going to propel us to our next level, and sometimes taking action in baby steps is okay too. We don't have to get there all in one day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Sometimes when we're on our path to achieving our goals and our successes, we experience challenges too. So can you talk a little bit about a time in your life where maybe you didn't see the light at the end of the tunnel and you had to overcome some obstacles and some challenges that you didn't foresee, but at the end of the day you were able to pull through and persist and actually attain whatever that goal was and bring it to fruition?
Yeah. So there was a time I always attended like the same school in my whole life. It was a private school, literally from preschool until ninth grade. And I automatically had to leave for unforeseen reasons halfway through my freshman year. And this is where I built my entire family, my entire lifestyle, everything. And I went to public school. And it was a shift and it was automatic. I mean, I left on a Friday and I had to start a brand new school on Monday. And then when I came in, apparently my grades weren't great for my school. So, which I didn't even know. And so I had to start in a whole new school in a not great academic place and really just rebuild myself from a personal and educational level. And so that was a really hard thing for me to have to do because I was trying to make friends, but I was also trying to get my academics together, and being in a whole new environment, in a whole new place, and leaving my friends behind. So it was a really challenging experience for me. But I went from coming into that school with like a 1.3 to leaving with like a 3.7. So
Wow.
It was a lot of work, and I kind of refound myself, which is what I like about challenging times, is like you dig deep and you find a different part of you that you didn't know existed, and you kind of like tap into that and, try to make it work.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times we don't realize how much strength we actually have until it's time for us to really use it, and that's amazing that you can jump that much, because a lot of times with that, it also is one of those things where how do I balance my time so that I'm not just all academic, like you just said, I'm not all academics. I do have a social life, and I do make quality time for myself and all the other things that come with just, walking through life. Mm-hmm. And one of the things that some people struggle with is finding a support system. And particularly ladies that have a lot of responsibilities. For example, they may have children, or they may have a partner, or they may have aging parents, or they may just have themselves, but they have a super overwhelming schedule. Mm-hmm. So sometimes it takes other people to step in and, for them to delegate things to, or just to help them in certain parts of their dream or their vision. So can you talk a little bit about maybe some support that you had during that time, or some other time where you really needed to rely on your support system, and maybe even some challenges with finding a support system for those of us that are listening and we're saying, well, I feel like it's always just me doing everything by myself, and how do I seek out a support system to help me with my endeavors?
Yeah. So for me during that time, not gonna lie, my parents were super supportive for me. And I built a kind of a friend group in different areas. So I joined sports teams and I joined clubs, and I'm very social, so I like to get involved in a lot of different things. But outside of that, I think a really good benefit that like us as females have today is social media.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'm not saying you need to use Facebook or you need to use Twitter, but even LinkedIn and I'm a huge believer in mentors, because I wouldn't get anywhere I have been or have gone without people who are older than me helping me, giving me new points of view, having me look at things in a different lens. So I would honestly say reach out. A lot of people are looking to help other people, get a path, find a way. And if you can find someone to help mentor you and give you advice and give you that support that you need when you feel like you don't have anyone else, that would be really beneficial. And the challenge with that is reaching out. Nobody wants to be rejected. And taking that first step and sending that message or sending that email can be, frightening. But at the end of the day, you'll never know until you try. So I would recommend, reaching out to people on social media. If you see a woman who lives in your area or a mother whose son goes to the same school as you, reach out. You probably have more in common than you think. And there's probably people in your similar situation as well, even if they're not older, younger, whatever, that can help you navigate your own way.
Yeah, and what you just said is so key. I network on a daily basis. I'm always extending myself to other ladies by nature of what I do. Mm-hmm. And to me, it feels like second nature. It's like no one has to tell me to go and talk to other people. It's just something I do. But for a lot of people, it's, stranger danger is what I say. You get taught that in elementary school. Don't talk to strangers. And then what you said is key too. Like sometimes you feel like, well, what if I talk to that person and they reject me? Well, I get rejected all the time.
Yeah, you start to deal with it.
Yeah, or people ignore me all the time. But I felt like, okay, but there's so many other people in this world that I could be reaching out to while I'm focusing on why did you reject me? Why did you say no? There's all these other people that are going to tell me yes.
Yeah.
So I think that when we're thinking about, our next level goals and looking for support, I think that the more often that we do network with others and find people that can help support us, the more natural and more comfortable it will be. So just like you said, just sometimes taking, that step. And if someone ignores you or rejects you, that's okay. They might just be busy. I know I haven't always responded to everybody that reached out to me. And it was because I was just simply busy or I forgot.
Yeah, it happens. And then you start to deal with it. You understand as it goes. So
yeah. And I think too, with the world of social media, it's so much easier these days to actually reach out to people than maybe before, when we could only rely on our school or our place of employment or our religious institution or our immediate neighbors, just the same way that we connected. You can simply go online and send a message to someone that seems of similar interest, and there you go. You just created a bond, a relationship with someone. So I think that definitely taking advantage of the social media platforms is very vital. And a lot of times you're able to connect with people that may have experience in the area that you're already looking to go into, that you wouldn't have necessarily met in your immediate friend and family circle. So
that's so true.
Definitely taking advantage of the billions of people on this earth is so vital.
Yeah, for sure.
Can you talk a little bit about self-care and how that relates to us actually carrying out our vision and our goals? Because even when you have a very strong support system, if you're not taking care of yourself, you're not going to have the energy to actually put forth the work involved to carry out whatever that dream or that vision or goal is. And a lot of times, particularly in Western society, we can get inundated with messages of, it's awesome to be busy, but not so much messages on it's awesome to also self-reflect and take a step back, So talk a little bit about the importance of self-care in your life and maybe some challenges that you face with self-care. And when we do provide ourselves with self-care, how that actually helps us toward achieving our goals quicker.
Mm-hmm. So I think self-care is really important because at the end of the day, whatever you're working towards, whether it's, being a mother, being an employee, a colleague, being a friend, if you can't take care of yourself first, then you're not going to be of use to anyone. A 20% version of yourself is not going to be as beneficial as a 100% version of yourself. And self-care to me has many different things, whether it's doing something that you enjoy every day, whether it's taking care of your body, your health, your wellness, or, you know, it could be anything, or just enjoying a hobby. So self-care to me personally in my life is, you know, I have a very stressful job. It's very, you know, all the time I'm in the office focusing on these things, but I always try to carve out, whether it's before the day starts or when the day ends, just try to get in at least 30 minutes of, you know, working out. Because for me, that's a challenge because I need to fit it in my day. But for the self-care part, it really helps me clear my mind. So I have just that me time where I'm just worrying about myself and who I am and how I'm doing. And it's reflective. Because if you can't think about yourself and think about, you know, the steps that you're taking to be better every day, how can you expect to get there? So that's why I feel like self-care is extremely important. And whatever way that is for you, if it's cooking, dancing, singing, you know, whatever makes you happy, you got to do it so that you can reach all your long-term goals in your life.
Yeah, and I noticed that when I do self-care practices, when I don't do them, I actually feel a difference in my energy level. So when you have that to compare to, it keeps you more consistent.
Yeah.
But the other side of that is also don't feel bad and guilty if you're, you know, super busy one day and you just can't provide yourself with self-care, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
The intention is just to, you know, infuse it into your life as much as possible. And you'll see that you just provide your life with a little bit more meaning, substance, and purpose. But yeah, feeling guilty because, oh my gosh, I was supposed to, you know, do my 30 minutes of coloring today and I didn't get a chance to do it because I was instead focusing on this over here. Well, that does nothing for you mentally and emotionally either.
Right. You have to think about there's always tomorrow. Like there's always a time to fit it in tomorrow if I didn't get it in today.
Yes. And, you know, I think that even if right now, if you can just start off with one day a week, that's still okay. Because if you look at it like this, one day a week of self-care, doing whatever it is that you want to do, whether that's watching movies, cooking, painting, gardening, going to the gym, whatever it is, sometimes that one day a week is more than what a lot of people are doing. And by the end of the month, you've just spent 4 days doing what you ordinarily would have spent 0 days doing.
Yeah, progress is progress.
By the end of the year, you know, you multiply that by 12 months, so you're still making headway. So I always tell people, just think about how much headway you're making and celebrate your successes along the way. Don't beat yourself up because you can't be a robot and perfect.
Yeah.
I don't live in a state of regret. If I can't do something, if I can't go to the gym, if I can't do X, Y, Z, well, what's going to change by me feeling like, oh gosh, I'm beating myself up, I regret going to the gym? Please, did that really do anything for you mentally? No, it didn't.
Not beneficial. Yeah.
Right. So live in the state of where you are right now and just continue to make as many positive movements forward as you can.
Yeah.
And ladies that are listening, I know that some of you are probably thinking to yourselves, well, you know, that all sounds great. It's stuff that I hear all the time. And I know what to do, but I don't exactly know how to get started. I'm feeling like stuck in this moment. For those of you that are feeling that way, one thing that I always suggest is for you to get a deeper understanding of who you are as an individual and understand what lights you up and understand what your gifts are. When I can help ladies understand what their gifts are, that helps them in developing a firm foundation to living out their core life purpose. A lot of times when we're too scattered and we don't know ourselves well enough to know what step to take next, a lot of times we don't make any movement at all. So one of the things that I offer ladies are a few resources on helping you to discover what your gifts are, what your talents are, what your strengths are, what even your areas of opportunity are that you could develop, and merge all that together with your career experience and with your life experiences. That way you have a firm foundation to actually move forward and whatever that dream or vision is. Because I know there's some of you listening that are like, well, I don't even know where to start. So for listening, remember at the beginning of this interview, I said for listening that you will get a complimentary resource from me. I provide that to anyone that reaches out to me. You can connect with me in my Nutrition for Busy Women Facebook group, and you'll see that link in the description box. Or just send me an email and we'll connect on a different social media platform or social platform in general. I'm all about helping ladies find a firm foundation because there are ladies that I've spoken to that they sent out multiple resumes, for example, to, you know, different companies and trying to figure out their way. And after we spoke, they were able to gain more focus into their path that felt good for them. So they cut off a lot of time that they would have been just wandering through the wild on their own. So I strongly encourage any of you listening that you feel like, I don't even know where to start, connect with me and I'll provide you with some free resources. Spencer, what are some last words of encouragement that you would like to give to the ladies listening? And for anyone that is listening and they're saying, I don't even know where to start, Spencer. You sound like a wonderful person. I would love to connect with you. I'd love to connect with Ebonie, but what can I do right now? Or what mindset should I have right now so that I can actually begin to make movement?
I would say you always need a day one mindset. That's what I kind of call it. It's like every day is the first day. So, you know, what new action am I going to take today? What step am I going to take? Whether it's small, whether you're just drafting up an email to send to someone, or, you know, looking for someone to contact or reach out to. So I like to have a day one mindset, and it's like, what action can I take to make me feel like I'm moving towards a goal? And you can set your own milestones, you can set your own goals, and just try every day to reach them. And if you don't make it some days, like we said before, that's okay. Like, there's always another day and another opportunity and another chance. So that's kind of what my advice would be. You can always reach out to me too. So
yeah, all of her contact info in the description box. So for those of you that want to be able to connect with someone that is clearly telling you that she's welcoming you, you don't have anybody else in the world. You got Spencer, you got to help you along the way. And I really do mean that. Like, sometimes people say, oh yeah, those are nice words to say, but I actually love connecting with other people.
Yeah.
Helping them develop their passion. So if you don't have anybody else that can help you, you have the two of us. And one of the things I always say is, the more vocal you are about your experiences, the more you'll find that there are other people that can look at things a certain way, that can give you suggestions on how to develop that idea even more. So you always hear that, you know, that terminology or that quote, that two heads are better than one. And that really is true. Sometimes when I can't think beyond a certain point, an idea or a vision that I have in mind, once I begin to talk to, you know, supportive people, confidants, they begin to provide different perspectives. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I didn't even think about doing it that
Stuff
way.
you don't even think about.
Yeah, it was something that I would have never even thought about doing, that's so basic and simple. But because I was, you know, sharing my experiences with other people, I was able to make, you know, bigger moves because I had other perspectives involved. So always remember that you are not alone, and we can always make progress by collaborating with each other. So I invite any of you also that are listening that want to share your experiences and your challenges in life with other ladies around the world to connect with me. And I would love to have you speak on one of my future episodes. You just never know who you might collaborate with. Spencer, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. And as I said, anyone listening, if you want to connect with us, feel free to do so, or send this content, share this with a friend or family member that may be struggling right now, trying to find their way. And I always say that the best thing that you can do is to always know that everybody has their own lane. Just stay focused on what lights you up. Don't be concerned about the next person and what they're doing. And we all achieve what we're supposed to achieve in due season. So always just remember, your path is your path. Spencer, any last words of encouragement that you want to provide to the ladies?
I would kind of build off of what you just said. Like, kind of your timeline is your own timeline. So just because you see someone else doing something at a certain rate or a certain period, that might not be, you know, for you. So never just try to hold yourself to the standard of others. The only standard you have is yourself. So.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Wherever you guys are in this world, I hope that today is a day that you live a life full of purpose and meaning. And remember to share this content out. And I hope to connect with you in our next episode. I'll talk to you guys soon.